Welcome to Edupedia World. In this video, we will discuss types of diagrams, that is, one-dimensional diagrams and pie diagrams. Let us discuss following two geometric forms of diagrams. A. One-dimensional diagrams. B. Pie diagrams. A. One-dimensional diagrams. One-dimensional diagrams are also called bar diagrams, which are most commonly used in practice. They are called one-dimensional because of height of the bar is of scale significance and not the width of the bar. Following are the various types of bar diagrams: simple bar diagram, subdivided bar diagram, multiple bar diagram, percentage bar diagram, broken bar diagram, and deviation bar diagram. First, we will discuss simple bar diagram. They are very simple to present, but only one type of variable can be presented. A simple bar diagram can be drawn either on a horizontal or vertical base. It is used for visual comparison of one variable, that is student, prices, production, population, sales, export, etc. This diagram can present any information of one category either in years, month, week, etc. or relating to different places, sections or groups. All the bars can be beautified by a single color or shading to make them more attractive. Vertical bars on horizontal base are more commonly used in practice. Bars must be of uniform thickness and they should be placed at equal distance. While constructing a simple bar diagram, the scale is determined on the basis of highest value in the series. Simple bar diagrams are those diagrams which are based on a single set of numerical data. The different items of values are represented by different bars. Data relating to birth rate, death rate are generally presented in the form of simple bar diagrams. These bar diagrams present only a single set of numerical data. These diagrams are most useful to present time series data such as individual value like weight of students, etc. We can understand the simple bar diagram with the help of following illustration, that is, draw a bar diagram to represent the following figures relating to export of computer software. Data is given. According to it, we will prepare a diagram. In the title, we will write the export of computer software from 1997 to 2002. We will write scale, that is 1 centimeter equals to 5,000 crores. On x-axis, we will take the years, that is from 1997 to 2002, and on y-axis, we will plot the values, that is 5,000 to 40,000. According to the values of a particular year, we will make a bar on a diagram, as we can see in the diagram. This is how we will prepare a simple bar diagram. Alternative solution, that is vertical base. We can present the previous information about export of computer software also by vertical base showing horizontal bars. In figure 1, years was on x-axis and value, that is rupees in crores, on y-axis. In figure 2, we are taking years on y-axis and value on x-axis, as we can see in the diagram. From these two diagrams, we understand that India has made significant progress in the export of computer software. The software export has increased from rupees 6,500 crores in 1997 to 98 to 36,500 crores in 2001 to 2. Thus, the software export has grown up at a compound growth rate of 50% per year for last 4 years. Next, we come to subdivided bar diagram. These diagrams are also called component bar diagrams. In general, subdivided or component bar diagrams are to be used if the total values of the given data is to be divided into various parts or subclasses or components. First of all, a bar representing total is drawn. Then it is divided into various parts in proportion to the values given in the data. Different colors, shades of colors, crossing, dotting or designs can be used to distinguish subdivisions of a bar. One should always remember that the various components should be kept in the same order in each bar. An index is to be given along with the diagram to explain these differences. Let us understand this with the help of a following illustration. We have to draw a suitable diagram to represent the following information. Information is regarding the statement of crimes in running passenger train from year 2001 to 2005. From the given data, we will prepare a subdivided bar diagram. First, we will write the heading, that is crimes in running passenger train from the year 2001 to 2005, and in this particular diagram we have taken scale of 1 centimeter equals to 100 crimes. On x-axis we have taken number of years, that is from 2001 to 2005, and on y-axis we have taken number of crimes, that is from 0 to 700. In this, blue refers to loot, red refers to robbery, and orange refers to murder. A common and helpful arrangement is that of presenting each bar in the order of magnitude with the largest component at the bottom, that is loot in this case, and the smallest at the top, that is murder. This way we will prepare a subdivided bar diagram. Next we come to multiple bar diagram. This method can be used for data which is made up of 2 or more components. In this method, the components are shown as separate adjoining bars. Generally, these diagrams are used to make comparison between two sets of series, for example, birth rate and death rate series. The height of each bar represents the actual value of the component. The components are shown by different shades of colors. Where changes in actual values of component figures only are required, multiple bar charts are used. A multiple bar graph has contrast of 2 or more type of bars. One axis denotes a quantity and the other axis denotes a specific feature about the different types. Reading a multiple bar graph contains looking at extremes, that is tallest versus shortest in every grouping. Let us discuss one illustration for better understanding. In the following illustration, we have to draw a diagram for the following information, that is statement of crimes in running passenger train. From the given data, let us prepare a multiple bar diagram. First, we will write the heading, that is crimes in running passenger train from the year 2001 to 2005. For this particular diagram, we have taken scale of 1 centimeter equals to 100 crimes. On x-axis, we have taken years, and on y-axis, we have taken number of crimes. In this particular diagram, blue color refers to murder, red color refers to robbery, and orange color refers to loot. Let's for example take the year 2001. In 2001, 108 murder took place. It represented by a blue bar in the diagram. In 2001 only, 82 robbery took place. It represented by red bar in the diagram. And last is loot. In 2001, 321 cases took place of loot in the running train, and it's represented by a orange bar. This is how every particular year is described in multiple bar diagram. Next, we come to percentage bar diagram. Subdivided bar chart may be drawn on percentage basis. To draw subdivided bar chart on percentage basis, we express each component as the percentage of its respective total. In drawing percentage bar chart, bars of length equal to 100 for each class are drawn at first step and subdivided in the proportion of the percentage of their components in the second step. The diagram so obtained is called percentage component bar chart or percentage staked bar chart. This type of charts is useful to make comparison in components holding the difference of total constant. Percentage bar diagrams are those diagrams which show simultaneously different parts of the value of a set of data in terms of percentage. Total value indicated by total length of a bar is assumed to be 100. Each part thereof is shown as a part of 100. These parts may be shaded with different colors in order to highlight the difference. In fact, these diagrams are a different form of a subdivided diagrams. The percentage bar diagrams are used generally with the values are of high magnitude. In such cases, the use of subdivided bar diagrams may not be appropriate because the values are of high magnitudes, Some parts of the bar may look very small compared to the others. Wide difference in part of the bars make comparison difficult. Percentage distribution of the bars in such cases should certainly be better mode of presenting the data. Let us understand this with the help of a following illustration. In this illustration, we have to represent the data with the help of subdivided bar diagram on percentage basis. From the given data, first we will calculate percentage for factory A and B. To get the percentage bar diagram, all the values are required to be converted into percentages on the basis of selling price, considering the selling price 100%. As we can see from the following table that selling price is taken as 100%, and according to it wages, material and other expenses of factory A and B is converted into percent. For factory A, when selling price is 400, wages were 160, and when we considered selling price 100%, wages were 40% by applying unitary method. Likewise, we will calculate percentage for factory A and B for all the expenses and accordingly calculate the profit or loss for a particular factory. After calculating the percentage, we will make a percentage bar diagram and show this data in a diagrammatic form. From the data that we have obtained by calculating percentage from the previous table, according to it, now we will make a percentage bar diagram. First, we will write the heading, that is percentage cost per chair and profit and loss of factory A and B. And in this particular diagram, we have taken scale 1 centimeter equals to 20%. On x-axis, we have taken the name of the factory, that is factory A and factory B. And on y-axis, we have taken rupees, which is converted into percentage. As you can see in the particular diagrams, different expenses and profit and loss is shown with the help of different colors. Factory A is in profit as we have calculated in the table, and factory B is in loss. This is how we will plot the diagram and will make a percentage bar diagram. Next, we come to broken bar diagram. This diagram is used when values of some variable is very high or low as compared to other values in the set. In this case, the bar with bigger terms or items may be shown broken because it is difficult to adjust the scale. The value of each bar is mentioned on the top of the bar to express clearly the magnitude of the variable. This we can understand with the help of a following illustration. In this, the table is given and we have to make a suitable diagram. As you can see, most of the data is below 1000 units. But in series 4, it is just above 35,000 units. If you plot the data as a normal column chart, it will be almost impossible to read the values for series 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. What we need is a broken bar diagram. By using the broken column, we can see both the details at the bottom and top of the scale. From the given data, we will make a broken bar diagram. The first thing we need to do is to work out where the different groups of data lie. We have one group of data that ranges from 100 to 900. Series 4 on the other hand is just above 35,000 units. So how could we display that data to get clarity? We need to have a lot of room on the graph between 0 and 1000 to be able to view the different heights of the column. Looking at the data, if we had a chart that had 0, 250, 500, 750, 1000, then a break, then 35,000, 35,250 and 35,500 as the scale, we would be able to see the most of the detail clearly. Something like the graph which we are seeing right now. In this graph, we have taken a break in between 1000 and 35,000 so that the data can be clearly shown on the graph. This way a broken bar diagram is made. Next, we come to deviation bar diagram. These diagrams represent two different attributes of data. These have both positive and negative aspects. Positive values are shown above the baseline and negative values are shown below the baseline. These diagrams are generally used when net changes in data are to be represented like net exports, net imports, net profit, net loss, etc. This we can understand with the help of a following illustration. As we can see, we have to make a deviation bar diagram with the help of the following data which is given in the table. Data of export, import and balance of trade is provided for the year 1998 to 2002. From the given data, we will make a deviation bar diagram. First, we will write the heading, that is balance of trade for the year 1998 to 2002. And scale for this particular diagram is 1 centimeter equals to 10 lakhs. On x-axis we have taken years and on y-axis we have taken rupees in lakhs. Blue bars is indicated for surplus and red bars is for deficit. As we can see that in 1998 and 1999 surplus is there, means exports are more than imports, and from the year 2000 to 2002 deficit are there, that which means that imports are more than export. This is how we will make a deviation bar diagram. And last we come to pie diagrams. Pie diagram or circular diagram is also called pie chart or angular diagram. A pie diagram is a circle divided into component sector with areas proportional to the size of the corresponding component. Pie diagrams are constructed on percentage basis and not an absolute basis, because a series of pie diagrams showing absolute figures would require that larger totals be represented by larger circles, which will involve many difficulties. Percentages can be represented by circles equal in size. However, if no comparison is to be made and only one pie diagram is required, we may use only any circle. Pie diagrams are very popular diagrams used for representing breakdowns of an aggregate into its component or subdivisions. This diagram is generally used to compare the relationship between various components. For drawing the pie diagram, percentage of each sector is converted into degrees, keeping in view that the whole circle covers 360 degrees. A pie diagram is also a component diagram, but unlike a bar diagram. Here it is circle whose area is proportionally divided among the components. The circle is divided into as many parts as there are components by drawing straight line from the center to their circumference. Hence, a circle is partitioned into various parts to represent proportions of various components of the data. Thus, we can say that pie charts or pie diagrams are drawn by making their areas proportionate to the values in the given data. It is called pie diagram because the sum of all angles in a circle is 360 degree or 2 pi. Pie charts are not drawn with absolute values of a category. The values of each category are first expressed as percentage of the total value of all the categories. Different sectors representing various components should be distinguished from one another by using different shades or colors. An index should also be given indicating description of the components. Pie diagram is also known as angular circle diagram. In the words of Herbert and Raymond, a pie diagram is a chart of circular shape broken into subdivision. The size of the section indicates the proportion of each component part to the whole. Steps for construction of pie diagram. First, convert each component as a percentage of a total. Convert the absolute values of various parts or components into percentage values of the total. Second, since the angle in the center of the circle is 360 degree, the total of values of various parts is taken to be equal to 360 degree. To convert in percentage, first we will divide 360 by 100, which will come 3.6. Area of the circle covers 360 degree, that is 100% area covers 360 degree. Therefore, 1% area covers 3.6 degrees. Third step, draw a circle of appropriate size using compass. Fourth step, after the circle is obtained, draw a radius, preferably horizontal. Starting with the 12 o'clock position on the circle clockwise, Draw the largest component circle. Draw other components in clockwise succession in descending order of magnitude except for catch all components like all others and miscellaneous which are shown last. Show each value in the circle clockwise. For this, take a radius as a baseline to draw the angles. After first component is drawn, the new line will become base for second component. This procedure should be repeated till angular presentation of all component is done. And the last step, different sectors representing various component parts should be distinguished from one another by using different shades, dotting, colors, etc. Let us understand pie diagram with the help of following illustration. We have to construct a pie diagram to represent the following data about percentage breakup of the cost of construction of a house in Delhi. As you can see in the table, items is given and expenditure is given in percentage. That is labor 25%, bricks 15%, cement 20%, steel 15%, timber 10% and supervision 15%. From the given data, first we will make a table to calculate all the percentage into degree form. First we will start with labor, that is 25%. As we have discussed earlier that 1% equals to 3.6 degree. So labor will be 25 multiplied by 3.6, so 90 degree. Bricks is 15%, so 15 into 3.6 which comes 54 degree. Cement is 20%, so 20 multiplied by 3.6 which comes 72 degree. Likewise, we will calculate steel, timber, supervision. And when you add all the degrees, you can see the total will come 360 degree. Now we will plot these degrees in a circle. Now we will draw a circle which is divided into 6 parts according to degrees of angle at the center. We have 6 items, that is labor, bricks, cement, steel, timber, supervision, and each are represented by different shade of color. In this particular we have taken blue color in a pie diagram. This is how we will make a pie diagram. Pie diagrams are often used particularly by newspapers and magazines when national, state or local government budgets are being determined. The major advantage of the pie diagram is that it is extremely easy to understand. But there are certain limitations of diagrammatic presentation which are as follows. First, diagrams cannot show a large number of facts at a time. Second, diagrams can show only approximate values. Third, diagrams as a mean of drawing conclusions can be misused for propaganda. And fourth point, diagrammatic presentation is useful for the layman, not for the expert. These are certain limitations of diagrammatic presentation. Now we come to the last topic of this chapter, that is selection of a suitable diagram. There are various methods for depicting statistical data diagrammatically. The selection of a suitable diagram for presenting a particular set of data is a difficult and a practical problem. The selection of a suitable diagrammatic technique depends on the following consideration. First, nature of data to be represented. Next, the kind of the person to whom the characteristic of the data are to be communicated. Next point, the available space for drawing the diagram. Next, the size of the data. And the last point, the specific purpose of investigation. These are the following considerations that are kept in mind while selecting a suitable diagram. Thank you for watching Edupedia World videos.